Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 2 of the Q&A, so let's go ahead and knock this out. Alright, first question. Have you tried or any of your clients tried peptides such as BPC 157 for recovery on joining issues, i.e. tennis elbow, with success? I have never personally tried it. I know several people who have. Let me give you my little bit of experience. I have one client who's had a lot of nagging tendonitis and stuff. Now, granted, I can't get him to always follow the volumes I'd like. He's prone to these sort of things. It hasn't seemed to have helped, right? It hasn't seemed to have helped, and he's actually gone over to, I think, recently he's about to start using HGH to see if that will help also. He's had no luck with it. On the other hand, I know a coach who tore his bicep doing weighted chins, who had to have his bicep reattached, and he used it post-operation, and it did seem to speed up healing a little bit. So, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. And the ironic thing is that the lifter I have who got it actually got it prescribed by a doctor, right? Same thing with his other stuff. It's all done prescription for him through his doctor. He's got pretty lucrative income. So in his case, we know it was real. It was prescribed. He got it from his doctor, and it didn't really get much results. I wasn't really impressed. Like, he didn't notice any change. So again, it's a mixed bag. I guess take it or leave it. You hear different people's experiences on that one. Some of that's still experimental. I don't know what to tell you there. All right, next question. Could Zercher Squats or kneeling squats replace the good morning? Thanks, bro, and continue getting stronger. I'm not really sure why you would think that they could. I want you to think about that for a moment. In what world could Zerchers of any type replace the good morning? Right, even Zercher good mornings. You're dealing with a squat that, again, kind of pulls on the upper back. We could argue that Zerchers really have a limited role. I like to have some of my guys max on them who have low equipment variation. It can occasionally be something you do a bit of rep work with, right? You could even do a little bit of box squatting for Zerchers or whatever, but it's not something I would prescribe as a major movement anyways. And I don't know what a kneeling squat is, right? I just don't. I'm not sure exactly what that is or what you're trying to achieve with it. Never heard of it before. Which means no elite lifters are promoting it. No one who's the best in the world are promoting it, therefore I wouldn't worry about it. But as far as the Zerchers go, how could it replace a good morning? Good morning is a hip hinge. It puts a stretch reflex on the hamstring. Okay? Look at what you're doing with a Zercher. With a Zercher, those muscles are not going to be your limit. They're not going to get most of the focus. And if you stop and think about it, squats in general, Zercher do not hypertrophy your hamstrings. So you're going to remove one of your major hamstring exercises. Now, granted, they both can work your mid-back and things, right? They can both work erectors. The Zercher is pretty good for the upper back, but so are good mornings. I mean, if that's what we're talking about, okay, they are, again, upper back exercises. I don't think you can handle as much volume on Zerchers, though, therefore reducing their effectiveness for hypertrophy. But I'll give them that. Nothing wrong with it as an upper back exercise. But it's not going to work the posterior chain the same, and you're not going to get the hamstrings. So how could it replace it? How could any squat replace a good morning? Now, I always tell people a squat and a good morning, there's a continuum, because there's a squat hip hinge continuum, and a power squat is just a good morning with more knee bend. But the difference is that knee bend adds more quad, and that lack of bending over removes the hamstring. So you're going to get less hamstring development. It can't replace it. These are different movements for completely different goals, right? It's kind of like asking, can a pull-up replace a standing row of some type? Well, no, different muscles are involved. There's some overlap. There's some overlap in the mid-back and everything, right? But there are other completely different muscles involved that don't get involved to the same degree in those two lifts, right? So it's not really a valid comparison. It's not. And then some of this, though, I would always say to people, why do we need to come up with the really bizarre extra lifts? What do you hope to get from it? Because people see me do things that they might think are bizarre or promote it, and they don't realize these are time proven. Like, I don't create new lifts. I don't promote lifts that aren't already used by world-class elite level coaches with their athletes. Never. All right, so think these things through, guys. All right, next question, and possibly last question of the week. Am I losing anything by doing the floor press and never the bench? I'm doing the press and dips as well. Well, again, kind of a complex topic, but here's the other question I would ask you. Why specifically are you avoiding the bench? Like, what do you hope to gain by completely removing the bench press? If you're already doing a floor press, it's not because you're scared of barbell work. So as far as comparing the floor press with the bench, it's going to depend on your personal anatomy, your structure, everything else. Floor press for people who have a really thick back is a good chest exercise. If you're still skinny, what are you missing? Well, you're not working your chest to the same degree. If you're one of those guys who your floor press, the bar stops 6 inches above your sternum, it's a front delt and a tricep exercise. Okay? So that's what you're losing. But we could talk about, as far as benching goes, where you're losing some stretch reflex by completely replacing the bench with the floor press. And I like the floor press. I program the floor press a lot for a lot of my clients. We use it as a staple movement on Team Blaha. You guys don't see me doing as much of it because I have other needs. But a lot of my lifters use it. As far as the press goes, again, we could argue whether the press has real merit outside of certain niches or not anyways. So I'm not going to really go there with that. Okay, you want to build your front delts, no problem. But you're including dips. Well, dips aren't really a replacement for the bench either. Do we get that stretch reflex? Yeah, they're better for a stretch reflex than the benches on the pecs. Of course they are, right? We get a deeper stretch. But dips aren't a long-term solution because you can't, once you get strong at dips, you're not going to do dips every week year round. They will start chewing your shoulders up. And I like dips. Again, don't get me wrong. I like the dip. It's a great exercise. Weighted dips, even better. But you can't run it out indefinitely, right? You can't run it long-term once you're strong. It's going to be one of those lifts where you run for 3 weeks and then take it out. So it's not a true replacement either, again, because of the stress it puts on the shoulders. Now, with that combination together, are you getting, again, a lot of the benefits we could from a bench? Sure. We kind of come back to that other point, though, again, front delt and tricep on the floor press. That can replace the standing press. If you're a thinner guy who's not able to touch his chest, you're doing a front delt and tricep exercise already. Same reason you're doing the press. But at the end of the day, here's the question I would ask. What benefit do you hope to gain by limiting your tools? What are you going to gain by limiting your tools? We need to be rotating lifts anyway as we get more advanced. We need more tools in our toolbox, not less. Right? It's not a big deal. A lot of my lifters, we don't rep work on the bench. We only max on it, which is perfectly fine. But some lifters need more practice on the bench. They need more practice on the bench. It really depends on what you're doing. But the thing I would ask is, what do you hope to benefit? You clearly don't have really serious beat up shoulders, or you wouldn't be doing dips. A lot of times that's a lot of guys who do the floor press only instead of the bench. It's because of their shoulder health. You wouldn't be able to do dips. So that's not it. You're not scared of a barbell. So the question I would ask is, why are you removing this tool, and why aren't you speed benching? You follow my channel and you don't do speed bench already? Or do you not count that as a bench press? You just think it through. What do you hope to gain by doing this? And I'm not saying it's a right or a wrong answer. We shouldn't leave proven tools out of our toolbox just randomly, because I don't feel like doing it. That's not a good reason. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.